I learned that it's not okay to tell the truth most of the time, but you got to tell the truth all the time. I have no tolerable answer for why I didn't tell the truth the first time, and I take full responsibility for my actions and those of my coaching staff. I do apologize from the bottom of my heart that I let everybody down. I let my family down. I let the university down. I let our fans down. And the guys in that room, I let my players down. I have a responsibility to lead by example. And I should expect more from myself, and so should you.
It was September. The season hadn't even begun and the Vols had taken their first hit. The University of Tennessee imposed sanctions on the men's basketball team for recruiting violations and for head coach Bruce Pearl lying about them. Pearl's pay was reduced to the tune of $1.5 million over 5 years, as well as a $500,000 retention bonus. Heavy recruiting restrictions were also imposed upon Pearl and several members of his staff. But that was not enough to keep the SEC Commissioner Mike Slive at bay. Pearl was suspended for the first 8 SEC games, and associate head coach Tony Jones took over on the bench.
Tony Jones, our associate head coach, will coach in those 8 games. He will be assisted by Jason Shea and Steve Forbes, and in particular, whoever has that scout will be the closest to Tony in his ear. The suspension, as I understand it, really involves not only 8 games, but just 8 days. I'll be able to coach the team, prepare the team, and but not be able to coach in those particular games.
I won't be flailing and waving my arms and stomping around. Nothing against Bruce. That's his way to get into coaching. To get into the game, but I won't be doing that. I'll analyze situation, be a little bit more calm and reserved. But the players know my passion, my desire to win, and it'll be portrayed out there within that basketball team.
While on the bench, Jones went 5-3. Pearl, when he returned, went 3-5.
Please don't focus on the last 2 weeks of some wins versus this is what just boggles my mind. Just because he's winning doesn't make him a better coach. It's just human nature. I understand that. He's done a really fine job here at Tennessee for 6 years. And he did a really good job in those 2 losses. And he'll do a good job this week, and regardless of the outcome.
On the morning of February 23, 2011, UT released the NCAA Notice of Allegations and statements in response from Chancellor Jimmy Cheek, Athletic Director Mike Hamilton, and Bruce Pearl. The allegations outlined 9 major violations committed by the UT basketball program. Tennessee has until May 21st to respond.
A recurring theme would be the fact that at home, we've gotten ourselves down and dug ourselves some pretty decent-sized holes in a number of games. I know that Southern Cal was a game that we had to dig out from and battle back. College of Charleston we never did recover from. Vanderbilt, Florida. Vanderbilt down 17. Alabama, I believe we were down 13. When you do lose and doubt creeps in, it's hard to be mentally tough.
As losses at home mounted, Pearl's demeanor deteriorated, eventually calling out players at a post-game press conference.
We are not getting good leadership from within the team. We have some competitors that have no leaders. The team does not play well together offensively. And if I don't call a play and put them in the spots they're supposed to be in, we have a hard time scoring when they're making decisions on their own.
Leadership starts here. It's my job to assist our players to be able to be in position to lead. And I've always said this and I've always believed this.
The Vols lost in the quarterfinals of the SEC tournament, leaving many to wonder where Pearl and his team would place on the NCAA bracket, if at all.
It's a very, very significant reward for a season that had its ups and downs, but obviously it had enough ups to be a 9 seed. I think most coaches that are in the grind of what we do would say to make the tournament 6 years in a row is what, for me, is probably something that I'm the most satisfied in, because you graduate a lot of players and you got to play a lot of different styles and systems, and you think about all the coaches that have come and go in this league, and to manage to be able to be competitive every year, to find a way, and so what's going to happen to us next year? I'd say you'd look at the last 6 years and say, I don't know. I think they'll find a way.